What's going on, guys? I am Rezaza, an aspiring psychologist and your guide to anything psychological in anime and other series. In my videos, I try to objectively examine the personality, behavior, and experiences of characters from various series, as well as the concepts and phenomena that grows within the story. For this one, we will be delving deeper on the underlying biological mechanisms at work during the childhood of whom I believe to be the greatest earthbender within the Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: The Legend of Korra. I am talking about none other than the inventor of metal bending and the former chief of police of Republic City, the blind bandit herself, Toph Beifong. Without further ado, let's start delving. As she was born with total blindness, Toph Beifong, the only daughter of the Beifong family, was heavily provided all of her needs and necessities for her daily life. Her parents, Lau and Poppy Beifong, tend to go overboard the usual ways to raise a child just to make sure that their only daughter will not be hurt in some way or another. As a result, the young woman perceived her life as one that is so restricted and so dogmatic that she cannot even have her own freedom due to what her parents think about her being blind. However, contrary to Lau and Poppy's belief, Toph was not as fragile and incapable as they perceived. At the young age of 6, Toph ran away from home and ended up on a tunnel where the animals that are believed to be the very first earthbenders reside in, the Badgermoles. Despite being utterly blind, these creatures can move around freely as they sense the vibrations from their surroundings and be able to dig holes within caves and tunnels using their innate earthbending capabilities. Upon encountering these massive animals, Toph sensed that they were able to somehow understand each other, for they are both blind. The Badgermoles taught Toph how to earthbend and use seismic sense, a topic that we will be discussing shortly, to see her surroundings despite her disability. But does her blindness hinder her growth as an earthbender, or does it help? Neuroplasticity is a concept wherein the neurons of our brain are able to be rewired in a number of ways throughout the lifespan of an individual. For the case of blind people, including Toph, neuroplasticity manifests once the intended neurons for the function of sight is later on reorganized or rewired to be of function for other senses such as touch or hearing. According to research conducted at the University of California, Los Angeles Laboratory of Neuroimaging, blind people indeed have smaller brain regions intended for sight compared to those who have normal sight. More interestingly, non-visual areas appeared to be larger in volume for blind people compared to their counterparts. I stand that this concept of neuroplasticity happened to Toph's brain as it was required for her to be able to function more effectively compared to investing neurons for sight, which will not be used efficiently in the first place. If we were to scan Toph's brain hypothetically, I guess that her occipital lobe will be smaller in size and volume, while other brain regions intended for the other senses tend to be greater in size and volume. An increase to such brain regions may have been the explanation why Toph became so attuned to the earth and has a polished and very advanced ability to use seismic sense, a sub-skill of earthbending that enables earthbenders to detect vibrations in the ground to perceive their surroundings, not only for her daily life, but in combat as well. As we head on to delve even deeper to our topic for today, we shall examine Toph's behavior and interactions with the other characters within the show. With her personality being showcased as soon as she joined Team Avatar, we got to see that Toph appears to be stubborn and tough just like her element. She constantly tries to show that she can be independent and that she can carry her own burden. But what brought forth this attitude of hers? Masculine protest is a term that is coined by Alfred Adler in his theory of personality, which pertains to the condition wherein cultural and social practices influence many men and women to overemphasize the importance of being manly. Yes, I believe that Toph has a strong masculine protest as she constantly tries to deviate the norms that a young lady such as her is expected to have. This is probably because of the organ inferiority, a concept that we tackled in my All Might video that she had at birth, her blindness. As her parents tend to overprotect their daughter, Toph wanted to break free from the feeling of being weak that her parents gave her due to her disability. Shifting our gears, we henceforth look into Toph's interaction with her parents and Katara, the mother figure of their group. At first glance, it seems that Toph despises her parents so much. This also applies to Katara when she tried to apprehend Toph for her compulsive behavior. But from what I see, judging from how Toph and Katara made up as shown in the series, Toph does not really despise being cared. She may have a strong desire to show that she can live independently, but she is still a child who longs for the care of someone. This behavior of hers is a Freudian defense mechanism called a reaction formation. It is one of the ways wherein a repressed impulse may become conscious through adopting a disguise that is directly opposite of its original form. I believe that we may have reached rock bottom for this delving expedition of ours. I can feel it through my seismic sense. Do you think that we can explore more about this topic? Kindly let me know in the comments, and while you're at it, feel free to suggest series and characters that we can give an objective explanation. If you love to talk about anime and various series while learning something new, consider subscribing to the channel, for we have more to explore and delve into in the future. But for now, this is where our expedition ends. Stay safe and keep the curiosity alive.